This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports. Good evening, not afternoon. Good evening, Byron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Happy Wednesday. That's what.
Happy Wednesday. Hump day.
A hot Wednesday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So today I went over to a place called I Can Compete.
Yeah.
And it had not volleyball. It had golf.
Okay.
It had baseball. Really, people pitch at you. I was playing in Pebble Beach today in the golf.
Okay.
And then they also had axe throwing. I killed them in axe throwing. And then I had also played some darts. Didn't play the billiards. That's the only thing I didn't do there. But it's something that's in Louisville, Texas. Okay. And I would recommend everybody to go there. And,
I'm going to check it out because I'm very competitive. Ain't too many people can beat me doing hardly nothing.
Okay, we'll see. But the guy's name is Lance Smith. And okay. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. And we had a good time. We sat there. He was showing me various things they do. They do a lot of events there and a lot of corporate events. So, yeah. I told him to watch our show, and hopefully he'll get on, and we'll have some interaction with him.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Hopefully we could, see if because I'm looking for places to go with the NFLPA.
Yeah.
And sound like it'd be a good place to go and showcase some.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great place. That'd be a great place for the NFLPA. But let's get into a little football. There's some things that are bothering me today.
Okay.
Watson, he got a 6-game suspension.
Right.
The NFL is appealing his 6-game suspension because they want to give him a year to an infinite suspension. First, I'm going to listen to your thoughts on it, and then I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on this whole issue.
Well, right now, the NFLPA, I think, is considering trying to help him appeal it. And, he ended up sitting out last year, and it's still not a whole lot of facts about what really happened last year. So, I think 6 games is a lot. I think it more like 2 to 3 games should be good, and let him come back in and join the team and play. I think it wasn't nothing criminal done. So I'm thinking that he should be eligible to play in after 2 or 3 games. That's my opinion. But of course, Roger Goodell gonna have the final say so about that.
Well, I don't think so, and here's my reasoning behind it. This was an independent judge who did it.
Right.
Made these decisions. There is something that we don't know in this whole case. Because why would a judge, and she was a lady, why wouldn't she give him an infinite suspension? I want to know that. My other problem with this is Ben Roethlisberger came out and said that he should be suspended for a year. Well, Ben Roethlisberger, if you remember, he had some issues with sexual assault.
Right.
And I think he was suspended 2 or 3 games.
Absolutely. It was, I think, 2 or 3 games he was suspended for.
And then the owner, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots, came out and said this is, for him getting 6 games, is terrible for the NFL. And I'm saying, wait a minute. You were caught in a sting in Florida with happy endings.
Right.
And nothing was done.
Right.
And now you're going to tell me this, and I'm not defending Deshaun Watson, but 6 games, like you said, is a lot of games. 6 games is a lot of games. And I'm not defending his actions. I just think with some of the owners, and we talk about it, is the owner of the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Was accused of tampering
Ross.
with Tom Brady and Robert Ross. Ross was they said he tampered with Tom Brady and Sean Payton, and they gave him 6 games.
Right.
And what I guess what I'm saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right. We got a problem here. If you're going to judge the players differently than the owners, then we got a serious issue here. This is basically what the former coach of the Miami Dolphins was saying. This is a 2-tier system. We had the same issue with Robert Kraft. Nothing was done. We had a owner that now they're saying tampered, and 6 games. Shouldn't he be at? When there are things that went on with Washington, they gave him a year.
Yeah.
But tampering is bad. And now they're saying the other things, he was going to throw games. He was going to throw, I mean.
He had asked the coach to throw games.
Yeah.
In Miami. And,
yes. And that's my point.
And then, of course, it's an ongoing problem in Washington with that owner. So
yes. You
have to look at it. It's they do need to come up with something more precise. And another thing, Deshaun Watson said that all last year too. So it's an ongoing thing. So
yeah. And like I said, we're not defending his actions.
No.
We just want it to be done the right way.
Right.
He settled with 23 of the 24 people. He settled. So I don't know what the issue is, because this judge knew he was in 2 jurisdictions. They wouldn't send it to a grand jury. That's something. There's question marks in this thing. And truth. A judge in the NFL who wasn't involved with the NFL only gave him 6 games.
Well, this is supposed to be an expert and supposed to be fair about making fair decisions and
yes.
She was well sought out there for us looking into this case and being able to be a judge in this operation situation. So hopefully, but I think they should appeal it first of all.
Yeah, I would hope the NFL Players Association would appeal.
Yeah, they have 2 days to appeal it. That's what I heard. So probably by tomorrow we will hear some more news on it. Thursday, we should hear some more news about if we're gonna get a lighter sentence.
See, and I don't mind. I don't want them to get a lighter sentence. I think 6 games. I just don't want them to give them an infinite suspension.
Yeah,
Roger Goodell loses all credibility if that happens.
Absolutely, and of course he's still practicing with the team too. So
but Goodell has got a set of rules for the owners and then a different set for the players for the same instances. And that's what bothers me. Who signed
Roger Goodell check?
That's what I'm saying. The owner signed his check.
That's what I'm thinking.
But you also got to look at who helps Roger get that big check. The owners, yes, they do, and all of them are billionaires, and that's not it. But who do they come to see? Do they come to see Goodell? Do they come to see Robert Kraft? Do they come to see Ross? Do they see Snyder? They're coming to see players, correct?
Players what made the team, what made the league. Absolutely. Players and fans. That's what this game.
Question. The fans come in there and they see these players.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Is Goodell is getting his money from the owners.
And the one thing people don't even realize or think about, and you and I know this for a fact, we still get people sending us mail and on an autograph. I mean, it's hardly ever I don't go to my P.O. box and not get a fan letter. And
no question.
They want your autograph still. So the game is all set up around the players and the fans.
Yeah, and you're right. And I'm not saying that, like I said, we're not condoning any of the actions. But what we're saying is right is right, wrong is wrong.
Absolutely.
And you got to make a judgment. But
yeah,
that's
but you know what? I think they should make sure that they have some closure with this, because I think it's just been lingering too long. Everybody probably sick of it. I know I'm tired of it. I know that we need to move forward and get ready for some real football, some real competition.
I agree.
Don't see who's gonna win leading up to the Super Bowl going on. I think all this other off the field problems that have happened, it just really mess up the game.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. I have no argument there. Now let's move it on. Little news other than that. Tua Tagovailoa said that basically he thinks the Dolphins are all in with him and the guys that we have. Now they did. Go ahead.
One of the things, they still question his ability to throw the ball, accuracy, and all that. And he said, I pinpoint. I've been playing this game long enough. For my dad, when we started off, we came back and we talked about it. We assessed everything, and he done played up until this point to get scholarships, and now he's playing in the National Football League. It shouldn't be no worry about if he can get the ball there. And he's frustrated with these sports writers and people are talking about, well, he don't throw the ball well enough. He don't do this well enough. Well, he's been very successful throughout his lifetime.
Exactly.
At Alabama, I just think injuries kind of got him when he had the hip and so forth. But I'm thinking now this young man is ready to play. I think sometimes the media and the press and some hearsay get guys all twisted on what they need to do and how they need to return to the game of football. But I think he got the ability. I think he got some players around him to help him get to where he needs to go.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. And here's the thing. They say the same thing about Jalen Hurts. That he doesn't have there, but they won national championships, and they were really good quarterbacks, both of them. And I'm sure everybody has some liabilities.
Right.
But there wasn't. Joe Montana never had the strongest arm.
Right.
And I think and I'm not saying either one's going to be a Joe Montana, but they know how to win.
They know how to win. And those guys Baker Mayfield, the same case scenario. I think, he know how to win. I think, he challenged himself. I think, he gonna be okay once he get in a comfortable situation. And I just think too that it takes a little bit more, I think, maturity and timing and Jalen Hurts and of course, they keep talking about all the quarterbacks that came out of the draft in the last 2 to 3 years. Just look at them. I think all of them have the ability and capability to be very good in the National Football League.
Oh, I agree.
Also, you got to look at the style of offense that these guys are playing in. You have to look at the talent level that they're surrounded with. But also, you got to know that I think too, it's the offensive scheme of things that some of these guys are playing with. Justin Herbert, now I think he's playing in a great offense. He done came in his first 2 years, have 30 touchdowns, and been very successful. They were one a hair away from being in the playoff last year. These young quarterbacks, I think now is more equipped to come in and make a very impact immediately in some of these, in a lot of the NFL games.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Herbert's a big guy. The one thing with both Tuiaola, I guess, and Hurts are they're not those big guys. Even Joe Burrows is a pretty big guy, not huge, and they're a little bit undersized, if you could say that, as opposed to some of the other ones you mentioned. But that doesn't take away from, like I said, all these quarterbacks played in college, and these two won national championships in college, and they were on very successful teams. And I know they had great talent at Alabama, but they know how to win.
They know how to win. And even up in Chicago, what's the name of Chicago that came from Ohio State? He was talking about him today. He had a pretty good little fresh first year, but they were going back and forth.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, with Justin Fields. And, I just think, too, he's another player that, they got the spotlight on him this year to see if he can come in and take that team to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with you on that. But it's going to be an interesting season because here's what I'm noticing with the quarterback issues. But in the preseason, and they just started getting in the pads, and they're starting to get a lot of injuries already. Obviously, Washington from Dallas, he broke his foot, but it's not him only. Drew White from the Commanders, linebacker, he tore his ACL. I can't recall the name of the receiver that's at Denver. Another one torn ACL. There's a lot of injuries early.
Well, that's one of the things that I was saying this morning. I first got up this morning. I was drank some coffee, and I was saying to myself, it ain't if you're going to get hurt, it's when you're going to get hurt in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Because every team going to have to deal with injuries. Just think about last year, with the Giants, they started off with the linebackers and the defensive side of the thing. Some of their key players, got injured. The next thing you know, they're out of the run. They start losing games. They got on a losing streak just because some of their key players got hurt.
Yeah,
so you're exactly right. It's just that these training camps, and then they done changed the course of training camp. Remember how we go hard at it? We used to really have live scrimmages.
Yeah, especially
they doing walkthrough with no helmets on now.
You're right. Well, they have those what they call guardian caps.
Yeah, guardian caps, exactly.
Yeah, but we got a comment from BGRT.
What's up, BGRT?
GR80T, and he was saying the quarterbacks have to be mobile now. You still have your traditional pocket passers, but you have to be able to have some mobility. Well, here's the thing with that, BGR, is you look at the success of quarterbacks that won Super Bowls. Stafford wouldn't be a great mobile quarterback. Obviously, Brady, who's probably one of the greatest of all time, he can move around.
Today. Happy birthday, TB.
Oh, that's your guy?
Tom Brady. The day is his birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay, Tom Brady. And then you look at, there's Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes was a more mobility, but he didn't get really good until he learned to stay in the pocket and make
his first year was terrible. I mean, he had some problems.
Yeah. And then my boy Jason, we're talking about quarterbacks. He's got to talk about the Vikings.
He said, who going to be able to stop the Vikings this year? Well, we know right now Green Bay going to be the team to deal with.
You got to be easy. Jason is leaving for Minnesota tomorrow, and he's going to give us a report. He's coming on the show, and we're going to put him live, and he's going to give us a report of Minnesota in person.
Well, Minnesota, the only deal with Minnesota is going to be it's their quarterback.
Yeah.
You
now, BGR asked his question, Fields or Hurts? Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts?
Well, I think Jalen Hurts going to have the edge because of the talent and the skill set of players that have around him. But I think Justin Fields will have an outstanding year for us rushing as a quarterback.
I agree. I would agree with you because I think it is a higher climb for Chicago than Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields has more people around him, and that's going to make him look better. And that's it because you got A.J. Brown and Devion, what is it? The other receiver? Devontae Smith, who's going to end up being one of the best receivers in the NFL. I really believe that. I think he's just one of those guys. He's just kind of like Joe Burrows. They got that it factor, and they just know how to win.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, I just think Jalen Hurts going into – and plus he had an extra year on Fields. I think he had a little bit more time into the center. So I'm thinking that Jalen Hurts going to be ready. And he's saying the right things. I watched him during the training camp, some of the coverage, and he's making a good impact right now.
Nick has asked me what do I think about the Cowboys signing Anthony Barr. And the big thing is Barr is a proven player in this league. It's that just like you said earlier, is health. Can he stay healthy?
But one of the things with the Cowboys and the receiver corps is that they got to have, they got to come in ready to play, ready to go, because I just think it's unfortunate James got hurt. But that's why they got a couple other receivers, I think, too, that's looking pretty good in training camp right now.
TJ Vassar,
yeah,
Tolbert. But here's the thing: I say people forget Michael Gallup's coming back.
He'll be
here for the first game.
Yeah, he said after game one, after the first game, he's looking like he might be in starting game 2 and 3.
And Michael Gallup was a good receiver. I would like, as everybody else, I like them to stack up on receivers. But they do. That TJ Vassar, I recruited him out of high school. He's out of
Wichita Falls.
Yeah, he's out of Wichita Falls. And he was a tremendous basketball player.
Well, his uncle Nathan Vassar is from Texarkana.
That's right.
I knew them growing up. So yeah.
And he's 6'6".
Yeah, he's tall.
I mean, he's really tall. Barr was a monster in Minnesota when he was healthy, and that's going to be the big key.
I think with a lot of players like Anthony Barr, now they get an opportunity to come in, and I think if he fit and learn the playbook real well, I think he'd be perfect for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, I think he'll be fine if he.
Because one of the things with the Cowboys, they use their tight ends and they got these different groups of receiver groups. So I think he'll be perfectly fine with the Cowboys.
Yeah. And BG got a lot of questions today. Lamar Jackson is a unique player. He's kind of like Michael Vick in the sense that he can do both. He can throw it now. Don't get it twisted. He can do things. It's what they see, and they geared the offense around his abilities. I mean, he did Mark Andrews, and he's not calling the plays. The offensive coordinator is calling the plays, and he's working that way.
One of the things with the Ravens is that they have a team. They have it in place to where whoever come in, and they got the receiver that went to the Cardinals. I think
Hollywood Brown, who just got in trouble today.
Good receiver, did well last year, but I think they got an all-pro tight end, and I think with the Ravens, I think they're gonna be
Mark Andrews.
What I love about the Ravens, they're gonna be hard to be beat. They're hard to beat.
The one thing about the Ravens in that division is they're gonna come in and they're gonna be physical.
Absolutely,
they're gonna come after you. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be nothing pretty.
Nothing pretty.
They pride themselves on being physical.
And see, a lot of people forget they always looking at the offense or defense, but they have a great special team too. So
yes, they do.
Some teams just put pressure on you.
Your kicker is probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, they got great special team players. They always have.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They always have special teams. They got speed. The receiver that's from right here in Dallas. He won the state championship. Duval.
Yeah. Duval that went to University of Texas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that dude can run.
He can run. And
he can run. He won the 100 meters easily.
I'm telling you, and plus, usually when players in their second and third year, you got to watch out for them.
And then J.K. Dobbins will be back.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins, and he can run.
Yeah.
He's a big-time
player. A lot of
teams
on the radar people ain't talking about. The Ravens is one of those teams that you go out there.
Now, Jason is asking what's the identity of the Cowboys. I think they're going to run until they get healthy in the receiving corps. I think they're going to try to lean on Powell and Zeke.
Yeah,
trying to get there. You haven't heard a lot of. They're saying that the rookie Tyler Smith is the real deal, and they got a good guy. He's going to play left guard.
Yeah,
the key is can Tyrone Smith stay healthy?
Yeah, Exactly.
That's going to be big. Zach Martin is going to be Zach Martin.
Zach Martin
They're
gonna be
going to have to be able to do that.
Zach Martin. Yeah. Zeke is unlocked. Zeke is looking good. He's looking impressive.
He is looking good.
One of the things they did today in training camp was they went the full day for his game preparation, game making sure that the game is down situation and things. They went over that because that's what hurt them last year.
Exactly.
They down just in game type situation. They wasn't quite ready, and they missed out on a couple of plays. They could have probably beat the 49ers, but would have had that part of their game ready. So it went into game type preparation and all day today in this today training camp.
But you played for Bill Parcells, and you know on Fridays that's what he did.
He did. Yeah, he did. We went inside the red zone. Every
scenario.
Yeah, every game case scenario we went over, and I
always thought every team should do that because just like what happened, even when we were really good, the Leon Lett situation on the punt, on the kick, and things like that. Or again, I hate to put his name out there again, Leon Lett, when he put the ball out before he got over the goal line in the Super Bowl, those little things.
EB knocked it out.
Yep. So those things, and he's not the only one. It happened to, I think, the Giants last year in a game.
Yep.
And then, I think what happened was an offsides. Or
when they tried to kick a field goal.
Exactly.
And again, the game was over. The Giants, that's one game the Giants should have won. They ended up 5-12, and it could have easily been almost 500.
They have what I used to teach my guys is gave them an ice call. And an ice call, and no matter what kind of voices you hear, you don't move. Because I learned that I was in University of Houston, and the offense coordinator was Dana Holmstrom, and we were playing Southern Miss. And what happened was they had a purple call. A purple call meant that they were going up tempo.
Right.
And they start, everybody go, hut, even the linemen, and they jumped off, and you throw it deep.
Right.
So that's a purple call. And we won the game like that.
So, Jason, a purple call, since the Vikings are purple, we just mentioned the Vikings. We mentioned a little bit about the Vikings, Jason.
Yeah. Jason's all excited. He's going to camp up there and see Justin Jefferson. And he's going to see Coach Killer. He's going to see Adam Thielen.
But I'm going to get Justin Jefferson autograph. I'm going to get an Amari Cooper autograph, Julio Jones, Byron Williams, the four of us. Our first this game, we the only one that had 100 yards in 3 games. So I'm gonna get there. It came out last year. I'm gonna get their autograph. So Justin Jefferson is one of my guys that I'm looking to get his autograph.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of pressure is on the New York Giants coach? There's always pressure in New York. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. It's just one of those places where you got to have a must-win type attitude. And the Giants been one of the teams that hadn't been to the Super Bowl playoffs in the last 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a lot of pressure.
Let me tell you something about that organization. All those guys came from Buffalo. And I know you probably didn't realize this, but a lot of the coaches at the San Diego Chargers were Buffalo in the scouting department and all that administration. They all came over to San Diego.
Right.
Buffalo does a nice job of grooming executives and coaches. And I'm not saying that the Giants going to win the NFC East, but they are going to be competitive. And they have
a different team. It's already stated in training camp how these players have a different mindset.
Yeah. And I think people are going to be shocked. They're saying, and there's rumors, that they might trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. What is your feelings on that?
That's what I heard that, and I saw that, and it brings some excitement to the Giants because now you got a quarterback that's all about winning, that don't make the little mistakes, that's a team oriented, and he gonna do what's best for the offense. And I think you need that. Daniel Jones hadn't showed that. He's still immature, making some careless mistakes. But when you're a quarterback, you got to be detail oriented. You got to be, and everybody got to rally behind you. You know that when you walk in the room, that everybody can depend on this guy to get it done.
But the problem with having Garoppolo, Jimmy, is that his mark is the injuries.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be an issue.
Well,
now,
his mark, Daniel Jones been injured the last 2 or 3 years. So
who's that?
Daniel Jones. I mean,
that's true. True.
He hadn't been healthy himself.
That is true. You make a good valid point.
You have been saying this for years. You said that when quarterbacks are trying to run, trying to be a running back and a quarterback, it just don't work in the NFL.
Yeah, and one of the greatest was Lamar Jackson, what we talked about previously. And you see what happened to him because it eventually catches up because D linemen are getting and linebackers are getting too big and too fast.
Right.
And that's the problem. And you take that punishment, that's hard on a quarterback. Mahomes learned. Brady was too smart.
This is what I like, and I think people that watch Tom Brady, he get rid of that ball in less than 2 seconds. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
So he don't take the necessary hits.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk a little bit about the NFC East. Who would be, in your opinion, the best quarterback in the NFC East since we both play right now? Right now,
I think Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC East.
I would have to agree.
I just think with the way he had done, he threw 37 touchdowns last year. He's a little bit more mature minded. If he can stay healthy, he'll eat you alive. And I think if his offensive line can just hold him defense off for a couple more seconds, he gonna pinpoint you and get it down the field. And I said this last year, if they can get CeeDee Lamb in some different positions for his inside, outside motion and shifts and things like that, I think that's going to add a little bit more value to the Dallas offense.
Mm-hmm. And here's an unusual stat about that. In the last 3 years, he's averaged 308 a game in passes and yardage.
Right.
He's the best in the NFL. And second, which is interesting, is Mahomes was second. And I can't remember who was third, but Brady was fourth. And I'm saying, wait a minute. Brady and Mahomes have won Super Bowls. Dad hasn't even won a playoff game, so that's incident.
Well, he's been putting up the numbers. Dallas been averaging a lot of points, and they've been averaging. He's been averaging over 300 yards a game. I mean, that's a.
Now, who would be your second pick for the quarterback in the NFC?
I just can't believe in Carson Wentz and Daniel Jones. He haven't. If they throw, they gonna definitely run the ball. The Giants ain't gonna be. They run the throw. I think the second gonna have to be Jalen Hurts because
I would have to agree.
The receivers that they have, the personnel that they have, and hopefully the style of offense that they need to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree with you, and that I like him staying in the pocket. I don't want him out of the pocket as much. Only in certain situations, but I think it's for health reasons because you saw how the Cowboys played without him.
One that Dak need to realize is who his strongest blocking guards and tackles are, and then he might need to stay behind the strong side a little bit longer, even go that way a little bit longer, just to make sure he don't get some unnecessary hits.
Yeah, and Nick, you're talking about it, but they work together because if your offense controls the ball and keeps your defense off the field for an extended period of time, your defense goes in and they're fresh. So that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing. He has what do you think about Daniel Jones? How he would play?
Yeah,
the general manager did not give him a vote of confidence. Which, he know he going into his fifth year of his contract. This is an option year for Saquon and him both. I mean,
Yeah.
they both got to have a good, phenomenal year. So I think the pressure is definitely on.
Oh, yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, both of them can be free agents after this year.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yeah.
So you're right. I think and I'm probably the only one in America that's a Daniel Jones fan.
Well,
I think he's intelligent.
He's not bad.
He just had bad luck.
He just had some bad luck.
Yeah, because I've seen some quarterbacks, and we were talking about them. I agree with you on Jalen Hurts is probably the second best quarterback, but I'd put Daniel Jones right over Wentz now, and I'll tell you why. I was reading an article on the Washington Commanders, and they said he was throwing multiple interceptions in practice, and that's always been his downfall.
Well, I told you what happened when you can't go to Indianapolis and win that last game. That right there made me see that Carson Wentz, something is missing or something is lacking, because he should have definitely went to the playoff last year with the Colts.
Yeah. Now the question I'm going to ask you is who is the best receiver in the NFC East?
I take CeeDee Lamb. I really do.
Really?
I've been liking him ever since I saw him play in Oklahoma. I've been following him.
Interesting.
And I understand that it's some good receivers in the NFC East. Washington got a good receiver.
Scary Terry, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think
AJ Brown in Philly and Devontae Smith.
CeeDee Lamb is going to be the number one receiver in the NFC East.
You think so?
Oh, AJ Brown
have a lot of ability.
Oh, AJ Brown, yes. AJ Brown, yes.
I could see him over Brown, but Devontae Smith is going to be good too. And I'm not saying
he's still a little.
Lamb has to prove it to me.
Well, Devontae Smith got to get off the bumper run, and he's still a little light in the pants.
Yeah, he's always going to be that. But
those two are maybe next year. Devontae Smith will be ready, but see,
those two are my top guys.
Yeah,
right now. And AJ Brown is not bad. He's close third.
AJ Brown is exciting. I tell you that. I just hope they can get him the ball, or I hope he don't get into too much the way he gets frustrated by coming from being from the Titans and coming over to the Eagles and not getting all enough. But a guy like that, he is a game changer, no doubt.
Yeah. Now here's the question for you. We talked about obviously quarterback. Who's the number one receiver?
I just told you. See,
I mean, I was not really number one running back in the NFCs.
I like Zeke, man.
Zeke's got some wear and tear.
I don't care. Zeke when he want to run, when he gonna go get it, he gonna go get it. I'm telling you, he's one of the best running backs.
He's looking good this preseason. He's looking really good.
Zeke, I kept up with his workout this offseason. I didn't even tell this guy named Josh over in Dallas training.
Yes, I've heard of him. He was
I didn't tell nobody this, but I'm telling you, he's ready. I'm telling you, I've been watching him all offseason.
Can his body physically take it? Because he has somewhere. What is his 7th year?
Yeah, it's his 6th or 7th year. Yeah, I'll tell.
So how do you get Powell his touches?
Powell he's gonna come in because that's the way they working it now, and they learned a lot last year about giving each other breaks and coming in certain down case scenarios, and I think that's what really gonna make Dallas unpredictable too, is because you get a full ready to go charge running back when you can rest both of them, and they come in and give you two different dynamics. I mean, one is flashy, one can catch. But you know what? Zeke, he don't drop balls either. He got.
No, he doesn't. He's a really good athlete. Yeah.
He can catch that ball now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, just looking at it, I've been watching it all offseason. I usually tend to want to see what they're doing in the offseason. Mm-hmm. And I watched Zeke Elliott this offseason. I think, he didn't have no off-the-field problems. He did that last year. He had some stuff last year that came up. I think this year is one of the most focused time that the running back case scenario in Dallas look good. And I'm just saying from my observation.
So who would you put number 2?
Uh, Dude, I'm going to go with Saquon, man. Saquon Barkley, man.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy, I just think he's back. He's one of the backs that complete. I think if it's now with the way these knee recoveries and knee structures are, I think he can come back and play.
Yeah, he's had enough time, but if he's on.
Oh, it sounds like Byron's a Cowboy fan. Well, I grew up being a Cowboy fan, but I've been watching them this offseason. I tend to want to watch what's going on in the offseason.
Yeah. Now, here's the tough one. Who is we should go to tight ends next. Who's the best tight end in the NFC East?
I think the best tight end is definitely in Washington Commandos.
You really do?
Yeah.
Wow. I would have said Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia.
He's okay, but I think Washington Commando got a tight end that really can. That he gonna probably be one of the top tight ends.
Interesting. That's first really. Now here's the tough one. Who has the best offensive line?
Man, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be probably between Dallas and the Redskins. Got a pretty good. It's not the Redskins. The Commandos got. They offensive line is okay, but I think what the Giants did this offseason,
they did some good things.
They signed a lot of linemen, so I'm thinking that they're gonna be stronger in the offensive line support. But Dallas always gonna probably be up there, I think.
So saying that is that see, I would have totally different. I think it's gonna be between Philadelphia and Dallas. Philadelphia's got some size on that offensive line. Philadelphia's got some size on that offensive line, and it's going to be between Dallas and Philadelphia. They are huge. You there? Dad, they knocked you out, Byron.
I did predict Philadelphia to be one of the top. I did predict them to go to the playoffs this year. They offensive line though. I don't know about Philly offensive line.
You got to look at it. It's pretty good. It's got some talent on it, but it's going to be between Dallas and Philly in offensive lines. And then you go over to the other side. The best defensive line is going to be an interesting one because on paper you would say Washington.
It's gonna be the Giants or Washington.
What about the Eagles? They got some talent on that line.
I know Pat's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah. Let's forget the Eagles. Eagles, fly away, Eagles, fly away.
the Eagles gonna be tough though.
They'll be good.
But you know what? What's been happening with me this week was I've been watching Dallas training camp.
Yeah, that's true, and they look pretty good.
I've been watching training camp, so I don't know what Philly's doing in their training camp. I need to see all these guys, all these teams training camp.
Eagles are not far superior. Don't get it twisted. The Eagles are not that far superior. The Eagles are in for a rude awakening this year. I'm just letting you know. And I said that. They're going to be good, but they're not going to be as good as people think. And it's not going to be because of Jalen Hurts. Well, they still have some issues.
One of the things you got, I'll be reminded of constantly is the coaching. How these coaches going to be able to make these adjustments.
Yeah, Sirianni.
Yeah.
They said when nobody knows about you that first year, especially at NFL, you can do some things.
You can do some things. You can make some surprises.
That second year, when they start studying you and they get your tendencies, it becomes a little bit more difficult. And Sirianni was the first time that he was a head coach. So people didn't know how he was going to react.
Yeah.
And if you remember, at the beginning, there were a lot of things, and they were mad at him. Players were mad.
They were mad.
If you remember. So I think that it's going to catch up to them this year. I think they're going to be good. Don't get me wrong. And they do have a possibility to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be as great as some people think they are.
Yeah, and I think Washington the Commanders got one of the best head coaches in the East.
They do, but I think that, like you said, with Wentz, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you can't depend on that.
And I think they lost that really good linebacker. He left, and I think their defense, and they still, Michael Young is not going to play. Young is not going to play for a couple games.
The Eagles win the division. I just think too. But after meeting Mike McCarthy this offseason and talking to him, I think the Cowboys gonna win the division.
Don't
because we had a face-to-face talk, but the Eagles going to the playoffs.
Don't say it. Don't say that too loud. We might get knocked off the air.
No, but really, what's gonna really be sad if the Giants end up winning the NFC East. That's what's gonna really.
They got a possibility. They got a better possibility than Washington.
Yeah, and I think too it might go down. What I like about the NFC East, ain't nobody won it back to back.
That is true.
Since 2008. So you talking 15 years of having different division champions.
That is true. And that's
so the Cowboys won it last year. That means the Eagles or the Giants gonna win it this year.
Yeah. The Cowboys won it last year, and correct me if I'm wrong. The year after that, Washington won it. And before that, the Cowboys won it, right?
Yep.
No, the Eagles had to win it, right?
Yeah, the Eagles won it because they won the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be so we get to
so we're gonna kick the Cowboys out, y'all. We're gonna kick the Cowboys out. So.
You just said they're gonna win the division. We got it. Hey, we got to record.
Ain't nobody win back to back.
Yeah, but who has the best? We talked about linebackers. I couldn't tell you who has the best linebackers in the NFCs. That is a tough one.
You know, Michael Parsons, man.
That's true. So it gives them an advantage, but as a group, because they still got Van Der Esch, and they got some. Will they play good as a group? Because you can take Parsons can do both. He can rush the quarterback and he can drop him the coverage. But that's the thing.
I'm gonna give Philly the edge. I'm gonna give Philly the edge on that.
I'm gonna give Washington the edge just because you said that.
Well, if Martinez come back for the Giants, the Giants gonna be in there in the hunt.
Yeah. Well,
sound more like the Cowboys talk.
I played for the Cowboys. Of course, I'm gonna talk about the Cowboys.
No, I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
And he's on the bandwagon.
Flying like an eagle.
Fly away like an eagle.
I'm going to get my
It's not even really an eagle.
I'm getting my green shirt out.
You know they got those.
All right, I got to hop on. Obviously, you guys are egging me to come on. I'm coming on.
Fly away, eagle. Fly away.
Hey, no, Pax, I'm telling you, though, it's going to be a little tougher than people think. It's going to be a little tougher than people think. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I tell you, first off, I don't think Dallas has any line like they did the last couple of years. I feel like the Eagles line is far superior. The defensive line, I still don't trust Washington to be able to really take that under control. I think that the Giants have got too many issues just across the board to really matter. And I feel like Dallas took a step back. I mean, I'm just talking real.
The reason he says that is because of Amari Cooper. One player.
No, it's not just Amari Cooper. I mean, you guys lost some of your defense because they didn't re-sign and stuff.
Yeah, but
you guys didn't have a good offseason.
Gregory did not play a whole season since he's been a Cowboy.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
Signing Anthony Barr, and they got Fowler too. They can take some of Randy Gregory, what he did. Gregory he's never played a whole season. People don't know that, but that's the truth. He's been suspended every season he's been in the NFL.
If I was head coach, what I would do is I would be smart about keeping my players healthy during training camp. And I think that's going to be the key. And I think right now the Dallas Cowboys, they lost Washington. I mean, they're going to have some problems. They're going to have some problems with receivers. They're going to have some problems with staying healthy. It's
now,
whoever stay healthy.
The best receiving core, I'm going to tell you the truth. it's the Eagles.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The Eagles got the best.
Just like I said, from experience, people are going to figure out what Ronnie did.
The quarterback got to be able to throw to those receivers, though.
Yeah.
And I absolutely agree with that. He has 10 games to really figure it all out. I mean, because ultimately, if he hasn't got it figured out in the first 10 games, he's not going to get it figured out, and we're going to have to figure out another quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to get Jimmy. No, they're going to put Minshew in there. Gardner Minshew. He lived in.
I don't think so. I think that Hurts gets the whole season, but I think they have to make a decision after Week 10 on whether they want to go for another quarterback, because they do have 2 picks in this draft coming up, and they could move up to try to get another, quarterback. This is supposed to be a quarterback-rich draft that happens.
Yeah.
So.
But I think the Eagles got talent, and just like I said, their offensive line is big.
But I'm glad you said something, Pax, because that reminded me. I did predict the Eagles to win the NFC East. I did do that 2 or 3 weeks.
Did you change? You went the other way. You said the Cowboys.
Well, they've been showing me all the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Just because you live in Dallas doesn't mean you got to root for them teams.
Hey, you woke me up. I was dreaming. I'm glad you woke me up. I'm because Cowboys won't win back to back.
That's right. Cowboys won't win it.
They won't win back to back. They won't win the East. They won't win the East.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, guys. Have a great show. I wanted to just hop on real fast because I know you guys were egging me. You guys were egging me to come on. I had to come on. So, have a great show, guys. Thanks for having me.
Fly away, Pax.
Now you happy that somebody said something about the Cowboys or what?
Me?
Yeah.
I knew what's happening. I knew they were going to. The biggest issue they have is Gallup will help that. But it's those receivers like we talked about, Tolbert and obviously Vasher and some of the other receivers there. I wasn't a big James Washington guy, and I'll tell you why. I was concerned when OTAs, because he was injured in OTAs.
Yeah.
And people say, well, that's not a big deal, but that is a big deal. Because you look around the league and you see guys that were injured, and this kid was coming, and I'm not saying anything against the kid, but he was coming from Pittsburgh, and he wasn't the second 1 or 2 receiver. He was the third receiver. And they expect him to come in here and blow it up.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
That guy. And I was questioning the obviously getting him. I know he played at Oklahoma State. I know he's from Texas.
Yeah.
But I was questioning that because I'm saying, wait a minute, this is OTAs and he's already hurt?
Broke his foot.
Yeah.
He's out for 11 weeks.
Yeah, now he's out for 11 weeks, but he was hurt in the OTAs.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that concerned me about getting.
And I don't know if these players this day and time actually do enough. And all this. I don't hardly remember a lot of receivers getting hurt the way these guys get hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
I really don't.
And then you got 2 tight ends are hurt. Yeah, 2 backup tight ends. But the Giants, too, the Giants had a player, offensive tackle, walk off and quit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a couple of guys are hanging it up right now for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, they can't be because they're practicing too hard.
Yep.
So, because nobody practiced hard. But
tomorrow night we having the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. Yeah, I won't be watching. I'll be watching Winnipeg against Montreal.
Okay.
My son plays tomorrow night, but gotta watch that. I get that hard. People used to ask me when my son played for Washington, the Commanders.
They were nobody, wasn't they? They're just a Washington football team.
Yeah, well, no, they were Redskins when he played.
Okay.
But they asked me about that. Who was I rooting for? And I told them, I said, I'm a Cowboy. That's who I played for in Buffalo.
You know what?
Blood is thicker than water. I'm rooting for my son.
I would have been rooting for the Redskins. My son playing for the Redskins.
I'm rooting for did you hear me? I said blood is thicker than water.
Okay.
Because my dad was a Green Bay Packer fan, and he rooted for me, but he always said, go Pack, go. Yes, Winnipeg looks like they could win 3 in a row. They're undefeated right now, 8-0.
They 8-0 already?
They're 8-0. Yep.
Wow.
See, their Grey Cup is in November.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
done.
yeah.
You remember?
Great. So yeah.
But hey, this was a good show. This is a good show, and we got some input into this. This was great. We got Pags to come on and give us our Eagles update.
Eagles. Hey, the Eagles gonna be flying high. I tell you that. I'm gonna have all kinds. I'm gonna have some green paint, some blue paint, some silver paint. I don't know about no burgundy paint from the rest of it. I'm gonna have paint.
So we did a show a couple weeks ago with Pags on his show, and they were talking and doing an NFC review on the teams. And the guy from Washington didn't say anything. And I said, man, you got to say something. And all he says is, I hate the Cowboys. He was a redheaded dude, too. So I couldn't call him a Redskin, but he was redheaded. And all he would ever say is, I hate the Cowboys.
I feel sorry for the Redskins.
I don't.
They don't have nothing to root for.
I don't know. Pork rind. That's who it was. Pork rind. What kind of name is pork rind? Pork, I hope you're out there, buddy, but pork rind. Come on, we got to get you a real name.
That name sucks. That
pork
name.
You know we had to have Sneaky G on there.
What's up, Sneaky G? He loves the Giants.
Oh, yeah, he loves them. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I can tell you, I'm smelling pig skins in the air.
Oh, I am. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm
really excited.
Everybody, once the NFC Hall of Fame, once the Hall of Fame game is kicked off, it's football time.
That's right. Dick Vermeil's going in.
February, where the Super Bowl is going to be played in the Arizona.
Arizona, yeah. I'll be out there. There. You know, that's my second home out there in Arizona, Tempe. Arizona State, yeah. The only school in the state is Arizona State. Arizona is, they're really part of California.
I figured you were going to say that. It's good to see all our fans, Jason.
Yeah, it's great, Jason. And Jason, be safe. Be safe. Me and Jason work out every morning. Jason's got me down to 11-minute miles. I'm going down to, by the time I told him I'd be down to 10-minute miles.
What?
Yeah. I'll be down there 10-minute miles.
You trying to get down to 5? I'm 199.
Yeah, I'm trying to get lean and mean.
Yeah, I think me and Matt said you was fat.
Yeah. but it's been a great time. Enjoyed it. It's time to say goodbye.
Hey, y'all, thank you guys for it. Hey, we getting ready to have us a giant party, a Eagle Fest, and a cowboy dress. And let me tell you that
but hey, we enjoyed you. Thank you for your input into the show. We want to see you next week, and we're gonna have some special stuff coming up. We're looking. Me and Byron been talking. We're gonna have special guests, and we're gonna have some training camp guys that are at training camp and giving us a little bit of insight into it and what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say this too, Jim. Let's congratulate all the Hall of Famers going in this weekend.
Yes, no question.
Dick Vermeer, Tony, Richard Seymour, Leroy Butler, Brian Young, Sam Mills, Cliff Branch, and Art McNally.
All right. And I'm going to tell you my Sam Mills story another time because we are from the same conference in Long Branch. We kicked their butts, but that's another story. But
I know you got a lot of football history.
but thank everybody for tuning in with us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Have a great time. Have a great